Good morning, everybody, and happy Saturday, as usual. It's good to be back. We're not gonna lie, I miss you guys. So, for today's stick class, we do have 2 long sticks today. I got 2 6-footers here with me. So, to kind of go over what we're gonna do today, we are gonna be getting into some Bulgarian split squats. So, if you have a bench or a chair, something for you to kind of prop your back foot on, it's going to be perfect. We're going to actually need to use that today. We're going to be doing that while generating lateral tension. So we're going to be pushing the sticks into a wall. So we're going to need a wall as well. I also have a pad for us to kneel on, and we'll actually have a slider. So we're going to get into a hamstring stretch, and I'm actually going to use that slider. If you have a towel and a slippery floor, it's something you can actually utilize as well. So we'll kind of go through a little bit of that, and I'll try to go through a couple of different variations just so you don't miss out here. All right, so you ready to get started? Let's do it. So let's go ahead and start off with the feet and ankles first. So I'm going to take a shoulder width stance, both feet pointed forward. I have both sticks in hand. I want both sticks to be in line with the big toes of both feet here. Hands are roughly about shoulder height. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to squat down a little bit, and now I'm going to start to teeter-totter, bringing one heel up and the other heel down. So bring that right heel up. Make sure all 5 toes are in contact with the floor here. We're just using the sticks for balance. And then we're going to switch. Left heel comes up, right heel comes down. Switch, right heel comes up, left heel comes down. Hover that left heel. So heels never touch the floor here. Left heel up, right heel down. You want those knees to be tracking forward. Right, we're not changing the level of the hips. Right heel up, left heel down. Excellent. Left heel up, right heel down. Good. Bring that right heel up. Now we're going to hover both sticks. So pick both sticks up, hold that top position. Nice and tall, heels up. Place the sticks back down. Keep the heels elevated. We're going to pick them up again. I'm going to rotate to the left just a little bit. So now I'm going to create more of a challenge on the feet and ankles here. Now I'm going to come back to center. Rotate to the right. Try to stay as balanced as you can. Good. Back to center. Place the sticks back down and ease off. Perfect. Now we're just going to go with some lateral shifting here, or lateral tilts. So I'm going to have a little bit of a split stance here because I do want to load that front leg. So from here, have bottom of the sticks in line with the toes here. Okay, like so. The split really isn't that big. So I'm going to shift my weight forward a little on that front leg. I'm going to bring that right heel up, and now I'm going to shift that heel side to side, so laterally. So I'm going to shift the heel inwards, going on the big toe of my foot. Now I'm going to shift the heel outwards, going on the pinky toe. Good. Shift in and shift out. Excellent. Shift in and out. One more time each way. Shift in and shift out. Good. Back to center. Down nice and slow. Ease off. Let's go ahead and switch sides here. We'll do that same thing. Shift forward on that front leg. Heel up. Shift in. Good. Shift out. Pinky toe here. Shift in. Good. Shift out. Shift in, one more time, and shift out. Back to center, and ease off. Excellent. We're going to place one stick down. So now we're going to get into pelvic tilts. We're going to actually start off with lateral first. So I'm going to take a wide stance. I'm going to go wider than shoulder width. And what I want to do here I actually want to squat down a little bit more than usual. Usually it's just a small bend to the knee. I want to get a little bit deeper down here. And I'll actually kind of show this from the side because we want to still make sure that the angle of the spine is still nice and tall. Pelvis is stacked under the spine. So stick is angled in towards me here, getting a relatively deep squat. And I'm going to drive that stick down with my hands at chest height. And I'm going to start laterally tilting. So I'm going to bump my hips up to the right. And I want to keep a slight pelvic tilt here, so posterior tilt. Then I'm going to bump my hips up to the left. Excellent. Bump to the right. And bump to the left. As you bump one hip up, you should be feeling that glute fire. Bump to the right. Excellent. Bump to the left. One more time each way. Bump to the right. And bump to the left. Good. Back to center. Now go anterior posterior. So we're going to do an anterior tilt first. Should feel those lower back tissues tighten. Then we're going to do a posterior tilt. Squeeze those glutes, drive those knees apart. Good. Anterior tilt. Posterior tilt. Anterior tilt. Posterior tilt. Good. Anterior tilt. And posterior tilt. Back to center and ease off. Now we're going to go to a split stance. We're still only on one stick here. I'm going to have that left leg forward. So I'll actually kind of show from the side here because they want to make sure that the alignment from the spine to the leg is as straight as we can possibly get it. So the split is going to depend on you and your height. So hands are going to be roughly a little wider than shoulder width here. What I'm going to do from here, keeping my arms straight, I'm going to squeeze that back glute, try to straighten out that right leg or drive that heel down towards the floor. Now I'm going to hinge, okay? And I'm going to shift my weight forward on that front leg. What I'm going to do from here, I'm going to pull the stick apart and I'm going to rotate to the left. So towards my left leg or my front leg. Now I'm going to compress the stick and I'm going to bring it back to center. Now I'm going to pull apart and I'm going to rotate to the right. Keeping that right hip facing forward, compress, back down, pull apart, rotate to the left. Excellent, compress, come back down to center, pull apart, rotate to the right. Excellent, compress, back to center, and ease off. Now we're going to switch sides. So it's important that we keep that back leg or back hip facing forward the best that we can. So that's why that glute needs to be tight here. So let's get into the same position. Right leg is forward this time. You're on the ball and toes of the back foot. You want that hip facing forward. So squeeze that left glute, drive that heel down, shift forward on that front leg, get a good hinge. Now from here, pull the stick apart, rotate to the right. Compress, back to center. Good. Pull apart, rotate to the left. And compress, back to center. Good. Pull apart, rotate to the right. Back to center, compress, back to center. One more time, pull apart, rotate to the left. Compress, back to center, and ease off. Perfect, good. Now we're gonna grab the second stick here. And we're gonna work with some internal external rotation in hip flex position. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold those end ranges for the internal external rotation. We're gonna do a 3-second hold on each. So feet are together. I want the bottoms of the sticks angled in towards my toes. So the bottom of the stick should relatively be in line with the toes here. Hands are going to be about roughly shoulder height. Now we're going to start off with the right hip, so the left foot's going to be grounded. So we want to keep that left leg straight, arm straight, shoulders down. Okay, keep control of the rib cage. Drive both sticks into the floor. I'm going to bring that right hip up. Good. I'm going to internally rotate first. So I'm going to bring my right foot to the right stick. Keep the knee in the middle, pushing with about 30% tension. Back to center. Now externally rotate. So trying to keep that knee in the middle. Good. Back to center. And then down. And ease off. Okay? So we're really trying to focus on controlling that knee. If you need to, you can scoot over to the left a little bit. So drive the sticks down, about 40% tension. Right knee up. Internally rotate, push, 3, 2, 1, good. Externally rotate, push that instep against the left stick, and back to center, keep it up. Internally rotate, push, back to center, externally rotate, excellent, back to center, down, and ease off. Perfect. Now we're going to switch sides. So drive the sticks down, left hip up, internally rotate first, push, 3, 2, 1, back to center, externally rotate, and back to center, ease off, take a second, okay. Now we're going to go back to it again, 2 more, drive sticks down, left hip up, internally rotate, push against that stick, trying to create a little bit of a bow, back to center, externally rotate, back to center, internally rotate, push, good, back to center, externally rotate, back to center, and ease off. Excellent, good. Now we're gonna go left stick at 12. Right stick's gonna be at 3 o'clock. So we're just gonna go from activating the adductor to the abductor here, okay? So with here, right stick is angled in towards me, but it's out relatively far from the midline of my right foot. The left stick is actually out in front, kind of about roughly 8 inches. So I'll actually show from the side first. So left stick at 12, right stick at 3. Drive both sticks down, 40%. Keep that tension there. I'm gonna keep my left foot grounded, right foot comes forward, instep on the stick, push. So we're trying to adduct that right leg, going across the center line. Good, now we're gonna bring the outside of the right foot to the right stick, push against the stick here. About 30% tension. Excellent. We're gonna bring the right foot to the left stick again, push with the instep. You should be feeling that adductor line light up here. Excellent. Bring it to the right stick, push, abduct that hip, feel those lateral glute tissues turn on. Good. Bring it back forward, instep to the left stick, push, feel that adductor light up. Good. Bring it to the right stick, feel that glute. 3, 2, 1. Back in and ease off. Now I'm going to turn forward. Switch. Right stick's at 12, left stick's at 9 this time. So from here, drive both sticks down. Left foot comes forward. Keep that ankle dorsiflex. Push it instep against the right stick. Remember, about 30% tension. Excellent. Bring it out to the left stick. Push. Keep that ankle dorsiflexed. Pushing with the outside of the foot. Good. Bring it back forward. Push against the right stick. Good. Keep driving those sticks down. Bring it to the left stick. Push. Keep driving those sticks down. Last one. Bring it to the right stick. Push. Excellent. Now bring it to the left. Push. 3, 2, 1. Back in. And ease off. Now let's get a quick little double hang here just to loosen up the spine. I'm going to use both sticks. Sorry, man, it's a little sweaty. Right leg is going to be forward, left leg is going to be back. The distance is going to vary. Bottoms of the sticks are behind the heel of the front leg. So I'm going to have my hands up tall. And what I want to do from here, you can shimmy your back foot back a bit. I want to drop down into a double hang. I want to make sure I actually got some weight in my hands here because I want to feel my shoulders kind of loosen up a bit. Now from here, I'm going to do light rotation. So I'm going to rotate to the right just a bit. Now left, just kind of flossing back and forth. Rotate to the right, left, right, left. One more time, right, and left. Excellent. I'm going to come up. Now we're going to switch sides. So right leg is back. Hands up nice and tall. Get that hang going. Good. We're going to do that same thing. Rotate right to left. So rotate left, then right. Make sure you're keeping the hips forward. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Back to center, come up, and ease off. Excellent. All right, so now we're gonna get into that Bulgarian split squat that I was talking about earlier. So this is the time for you to grab a bench and a pad. Or actually don't need a pad currently, sorry about that, but the bench. So we're gonna be using only one stick for this one. But the bench is going to be what we have our back leg propped on, okay? So, turn like this. So, I'm gonna start off with my left foot forward. Now, the objective here is to try to stay as stable as possible. So as we're generating tension, effectively going away from the leg that's going to be forward and grounded, it's going to be hard to keep that stability here. So from here, we're going to get set up in my Bulgarian. So this is going to depend on you. I tend to go with a slight bit of a closer Bulgarian so I get a lot more work on that front leg here. Now I'm going to have the stick roughly about waist height. And so I'm going to have my hands or arms at roughly about 90 degrees here. So what I want to do with this back leg, my right leg's on a bench, I want to lightly drive that foot down. I want to make sure I'm gripping the ground with my left foot, and I want to drive the stick into the wall here. Now from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to slowly lower myself into the Bulgarian. Make sure I'm keeping that load on that front leg, keeping the front leg dominant. Come back up. Good. We're going to repeat that a few more times, and by a few I mean 7. All right, so keep pushing into the wall, about 50%. Go down. And it's okay if you're holding the stick up higher, okay? Back up. That's 2. Keep driving that stick into the wall. Keep that front leg loaded. Up. 3. Keep pushing. Up. 4. Keep going. Push. Up. 5. Let's go 3 more. Keep pushing into the wall. Grip the ground with the toes. Up. 6. 2 more. Up. 7, last one. Up, 8, and ease off. Good. Now we're going to switch sides. So I'm going to move this over. So again, folks, this is always going to depend on your own mobility. Do whatever feels most comfortable for you to get in position without any pain here. So I'm going to be facing the other way, unfortunately, for this one. So right leg was on the bench. Now the right leg is going to be grounded. Left leg's on the bench here. So stick is out, roughly about waist height. So drive that back foot down, push the stick into the wall. All right, make sure that right foot's gripping the ground. Push 50%, go down. Up, 1, down, up, 2, down, up, 3, keep pushing the stick into the wall, up, 4, down, up, 5, 3 more. Keep pushing the stick into the wall here, folks. Up, 6, 2 more. Up, 7, last one. Push. Up, 8, ease off. Excellent, good. Now we're going to do here. We're going to see where we're going to need door frame or ceiling, because we are now going to get into a Cossack Squat. So it's more of a dumpy style Cossack Squat. Just going to move that over. So what we're going to do here is the alignment for this is going to be a little bit different. So go ahead and figure out what your stance width is. Your stance width is going to depend, again, always on your mobility, what you have access to. Now, the stick, so I'm going to the left first. The stick's going to be mostly on the left side of my body. So where my center line is, I want it to cross going to on the left. Now, what I want to do from here is I'm going to have both hands on the stick here, and I want to make sure I'm gripping the ground with that left foot pretty aggressively here. Now, I'm going to start off rotated, but as I go into the Cossack Squat, I'm going to end up facing forward at that bottom position. So from here, let's go ahead and drive the stick up, about 40% tension. Now, I'm going to start to drop into that Cossack Squat, pushing myself down. I'm keeping my right foot flat. I'm going to push up. That's 1. Make sure you're pushing off that left leg. Keep that tension of driving the stick up. Push down. Up. 2. Push. Up. 3. Let's go 2 more. Up. 4. One more time. Up. 5. Ease off. Excellent. So now I'm going to switch over to the right. So I want that setup to be roughly the same, although one hip might feel a little tighter than the other. So get set up. Switch your hands of how they're stacked. So from here, drive the stick up. Drop in. Push yourself down. Up. Push off that right leg. Make sure you lock it out here. Keep pushing up. Drop down. Up. 2. Again. up, 3, let's go 2 more, up, 4, one last time, push yourself down, up, 5, ease off. Whew. That is a tough one, my friends. All right, now we're gonna switch gears here. So we're gonna get into some core drill. It's always good to finish off a load of core, right? So I'm gonna take my second stick. And what I'm gonna do here, sorry, I'm gonna move this closer because I don't feel like that distance is good. Move a little closer. So we're gonna go to the ground. Now, I'm going to use the stick. You probably can't see me, but I'm going to use the sticks against the corner here. So this is gonna act as a corner of a wall. Now, I wanna make sure that my arms are stretched out and I want my back flat to the floor. So I'm gonna bring my knees in first, or my feet in towards my glutes. And I'm gonna tuck my pelvis posteriorly to make sure my entire back is flat to the floor. Now my hands are right over my shoulders. So from this position, I wanna drive the sticks down, and then I'm gonna bring my knees up to 90 degrees. All right, we're gonna hold that position for about 10 seconds. This here is effectively just a dead bug, right? With adding in some of that extra activation. Good. What I'm gonna do from here, I'm gonna slowly lower my legs down until my heels touch the floor and then bring them back up. Okay, that's 1. Let's repeat that again. So down, once the heels touch, back up, 2. Keep driving those sticks down into the wall, bring them down, touch, 3. Bring them down, touch, 4. One more time, bring them down, touch, 5, good, and ease off. Now we're gonna progress that exercise. Instead of having the legs bent, now we're gonna have the legs straight. Just like a leg raise. So, arms are straight out, driving the sticks down into the wall, okay? 50% tension. Bring the knees up, extend the feet out, bring the feet down. Hover them off the floor, then up. 1, repeat, go down nice and slow, keep it controlled. Hold, back up. 2, down. Hover, up. 3, 2 more. Down. Hover, up. 4, one last time. Down. Hover, up. 5, and ease off. Excellent. Good. Now, this is where we get into the deep fascial stretching. So, like I mentioned before, this is where we use a slider or a towel if you have one, because you're going to get into a hamstring stretch. It's also going to get a little bit of the hip flexor as well, based on the position we're going to be in. So, I'll move this over. I'm going to grab the pad because we are going to need that. So, that we're going to have start with our right knee down, left leg, the left heel in particular is going to be on the slider here. I'm going to use both sticks because I want to make sure I maintain balance best that I can here. Now, the back leg, I want to make sure the top of that foot is into the floor. So again, we're not only getting the hamstring here, but we're getting that hip flexor. So it's kind of like a split position, front split. So from here, grab up the sticks as high as you want, just to limit how far you're going out. So I want to keep that left ankle dorsiflexed, and I want to have a slight bend to that left leg. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to slide this left foot out, and I want to squeeze that right glute. Now, only go as far as you can so you get a hamstring stretch. Now from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the sticks to start to hinge forward, anchoring into a hamstring stretch. Going to come back up. Good, hold that position. I'm going to hinge forward again. Only go as far as you comfortably can. If you're standing up nice and tall and that's a hamstring stretch, don't go any further. Back up. Let's go one more time. Hinge forward. Back up. Excellent. Pull the slider back in. And now we're going to switch. So I'm going to adjust this a smidge more. So left knee down, right heel is now on the slider. So we're doing that same thing. Right ankle is dorsiflexed, slight bend to that right knee. You need to keep a slight bend. Going to go forward, far as you comfortably want to. Okay, squeezing that left glute, keep those hips in extension. You're going to feel a stretch on the front of the hip here. We're going to hinge forward. Make sure you breathe. Good, come back up. Excellent, let's go two more. Hinge forward. Good, back up. Excellent, one more time. Hinge forward. Excellent, come back up. And bring it back in. And ease off. Good, so it might be a pretty intense one. So it's really good to control the distance there. You definitely don't want to go out too far. All right, always got to be careful here, folks, always. All right, now we're going to stretch out the hip flexors. Then we're going to get into stretching out the adductors. So we're going to get into that couch stretch here. So I will be facing forward. We're going to use both sticks. So from here, make sure the pad is relatively close to the bench or chair or couch, depending on what you're using. I'm going to have my left leg on the bench. Right leg's going to be in front. I'm going to use the sticks as a way to create some balance. Slowly lower that left knee down. If you can't get the left knee down, it's totally fine, right? You can always change position. A good way to do that is you can actually kind of come forward more in the front leg. It'll take off some of that stretch. So what we're going to do, I'm going to place the bottoms of the sticks right about in front of the line of my hips. Now my hands are going to be up about forehead height. We're just going to work into the stretch here. I'm going to drive that back foot down into the bench lightly, about 10 to 15% tension. And then I'm going to bring my hips back towards my foot, my left foot. Now we're going to get a stretch in front of that hip, more than likely that quad. If your quads are tight, like mine, you're going to get a pretty big stretch in the quads here. We're going to slowly ease off by shifting forward. Excellent. I'm going to reach up higher with the sticks. Now, do the same thing. Drive that back foot down. Keep the pelvis tucked. Shift back. Reaching up nice and high. Make sure you breathe here. It's extremely important. Deep, controlled breaths. We're going to slowly go forward. Let's go one more time. Drive that back foot down. Come up. Three, two, one. Let's go ahead and ease off. Use the sticks to help yourself up. Now we're going to switch sides. Right leg's back on the bench, top of the foot. We're going to lower that right leg down. We're going to go through those same steps. Now the hands roughly about forehead height. We're just going to use the first one as a way to stretch out first. So from here, drive that back foot down, squeeze the glute, tuck the pelvis, and shift back. Breathe. Good. We're going to shift forward a bit, ease off that stretch, reach up with the hands. Same thing. Drive that back foot down. Keep the pelvis tucked. Lean back. This is going to be a really good way for us to see which side is tighter. All right? If one side's tighter, that's the side we need to focus on more when we do some of these drills. Excellent. We're going to slowly shift forward, ease off some of that tension. We're going to go back into it one more time. Drive that back foot down, tuck the pelvis. Good. Breathe. Three, two, one. Good. Shift forward. Use the sticks to assist yourself up and ease off. Now we're going to get into the snake and reach. So we're only going to need one stick for this one. So move this over to the side here. So this is going to be a pretty intense stretch. So again, always go with whatever you have available to you or whatever mobility you have. If you find it's too much of a stretch, I'm going to show you some variations or ways to make it a little easier. Now, I'm going to start with my right leg down, right knee down. Left leg's going to be forward. Now, to start this off, we want to have that left leg going out to allow us room to have the stick over there and snake our shoulders through. Now, the hand is going to start right above the head just to make sure that we can clear getting through the stick here. So, thumb facing down towards the floor, and I'm going to snake my left shoulder through, and I want the stick to be right under my shoulder blade. All right? So around the bottom, you don't want it behind the shoulder. You want it under that shoulder blade here. Now from here, what I'm going to do, first thing, I'm going to walk my hands up. All right? Nice and slow, and wrap my hand around. So this might be a stretch, so I'll just hold this here. Breathe. Good. You can walk your hand back down again to ease off some of that stretch. All right? Now, we're going to increase the stretch. So I'm going to bring that right hand back up, wrap it around, and now I'm going to take the bottom of the stick, bring it across towards my midline, and I'm going to wiggle my left foot over. So now I get some rotation, but I'm going to get an even bigger stretch on the shoulders and chest here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to shift my weight forward on that front leg. And now I'm going to rotate my shoulders to the left, getting an even bigger stretch on that right pec. I'm going to slowly come back to center, and I'm going to ease off, and I'm going to wiggle that left foot out, bring the stick out, walk my hand down, and then I'm going to slowly come out. All right, now we're going to switch sides. So that is going to be the safest and easiest way to get out of that stretch. You don't always want to jerk out of it here. So we're going to have that same setup. Right foot is out to allow us space to snake through. Left hand up over the top, thumb facing down towards the floor. Snake that right shoulder through. Remember, make sure it's under that right shoulder blade. Now from here, we're going to walk that left hand up. Good. You might feel a little bit of a stretch here. Hold. Make sure you breathe. Deep breaths. Big inhale, long exhale. Good. Let's go through a couple more. Exhale. One more time. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Perfect. Walk that left hand down. Ease off some of that tension. All right, now we're going to walk that hand back up if you can. Good. Pull that bottom of the stick towards the center line. Adjust the right foot. Bring it out in front. Good. Shift forward on that front leg. Breathe. Rotate to your right if you can. Good. Return back to center slowly. Good. Come back. Wiggle that right foot out. Bring the stick to the right. Walk your hand back down. Good. Slowly snake through. Excellent. Good. Now, I want to finish off with that bow and arrow. Truth be told, guys, it's one of my favorite stretches here, so I like doing this one. We're going to go through progressions starting from the outside of the foot, about a foot away, then right on the outer edge. Then we're going to bring it on the inside of the leg. So we're going to literally progress through this stretch here. So feet are going to be at about roughly hip width. Toes are pointed forward. The stick's going to be on my left side. I'm going to start with the stick about roughly a foot from the outside of my foot. Line up with midfoot here. Hand is roughly about waist height. Take the right hand, reach up over the top, thumb facing down toward the floor. First thing, drive the hips away. Number two, drive the stick into the ground, about 20%. Number three, extend those hands out. Three, two, one. Slowly come back in and ease off. Now I'm going to bring that stick in a little closer, or quite a bit closer. I'm going to have it round on the outside of my left foot here. Rotate the stick. Right hand comes up, thumb facing down towards the floor. Good. Number one, hips away. Number two, drive the stick down. Number three, extend those hands out. You should notice an even bigger stretch here on those lateral tissues. Good. Slowly ease off. Excellent. Wiggle your feet out to be a little wider. Have the stick on the inside of your left foot now. Same thing. Only difference is the direction we're pushing towards is now going down this way. Right hand up over the top, thumb facing down towards the floor. I'm going to have my left hand a little lower here, so more so right at hip height. Number one, drive the hips away from the stick. Number two, drive the stick into the ground. Number three, extend those hands out. You'll notice an even bigger stretch here. 3, 2, 1, slowly ease off. Excellent. We're going to switch sides. We're going to go through those same progressions here. So, stick is out a foot, away from the outside of the foot. Left hand's roughly about waist to rib cage height. Left hand up, over the top, thumb facing down towards the floor. Number one, hips away. Number two, drive the stick down. Number three, extend those hands out. Slowly ease off. Excellent, good. Move the bottom of the stick in, closer to the foot. Make sure that stick is rotated a bit. Same thing. Left hand up, over the top, thumb facing down. All right, number one, hips away. Two, drive the stick down. Three, extend those hands out. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Slowly ease off. Good. Now, bring the feet out a little wider. Sticks on the inside of the leg, inside of the foot. Left hand up, over the top, thumb facing down. Number one, two, drive the stick down. 3, extend those hands out. 3, 2, 1. Slowly ease off. Excellent. That, my friends, concludes today's stick mobility class. Thank you for joining me today, everybody. Hope everybody had a good class. Like I said, it felt good to be back. Miss you guys. Hope everybody has a wonderful Saturday. Stay safe out there. Catch y'all next week.